Kellen Moore may not be sold on the Saints job. Hold the fort. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Dianna Russini on her Scoop City podcast alleged that coming out of the Senior Bowl, there was rumors, scuttlebutt, as she called it. If you're from South Louisiana, scuttlebutt is a different place or a different reference. It's a reference to a strip club that is no longer in service. But I digress. Anyways, so Russini said that there are rumors that Kellen Moore is not sold on the Saints job because he doesn't love the quarterback room. Now, when I first heard this, obviously my heart sank because I thought, oh my God, is it going to say that he's out? Is it going to say that he's taking himself out of the race or whatever? But then I thought, well, yeah, no shit. Like, I don't like the quarterback room either. The quarterback room is a disaster. No doubt about it. But hopefully, and we'll listen to the whole thing here and then react along the way, but hopefully this is something where Kellen is given kind of, obviously he should be given complete control over handling that quarterback room. If he wants to take Jackson Dart and 9 overall, let him take Jackson Dart. If he wants to keep Derek Carr, let him keep Derek Carr. If he wants to get rid of Carr and go with Rattler, let him do that. I don't care. If he wants to play quarterback himself, fine with me. Kellen Moore is currently the third best quarterback on the roster if he signs as the head coach behind Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler. Jake Haener, GTFO. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to the report.
So the New Orleans Saints are trying to sort out this head coaching thing. Kellen Moore appears to be the one that they've got their eye on. They met. I was told that the meeting went really well.
Me too.
But from what I understand...
You weren't told nothing, Chase. Who's telling you anything? All right? Don't look at me like that.
None of the other candidates have been informed that they're not in. So, that leads you to believe
all
that
the
this
other
isn't
candidates,
done yet.
though, what?
Yeah, the only other candidate would be Mike Kafka.
What other candidates?
There were a few.
That's my issue.
Mike Kafka interviewed for it.
Yeah.
Anthony Weaver interviewed for it. Joe Brady.
But Mike Kafka can sign right now. Anthony Weaver can sign right now.
True.
So isn't all signs pointing to Kellen? Like, where
yeah.
do they go if Kellen doesn't take the job?
That's kind of what I was thinking of. Well, first of all, they can't hire Kellen Moore until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, we know. Now, listen, you're going to hear a lot of what George Orwell calls doublespeak, okay, in this, because I've read the report before I did this video. It's called research, okay? I'm an actual journalist here. So you're going to hear a lot of doublespeak. So at one, you're going to see a lot of headlines. Let me go ahead and tell you this right now. You're going to see a lot of headlines of Kellen Moore uncertain about Saints job. Kellen Moore, I'll probably make the video title something like that for the goofs and the gaffs. Kellen Moore uncertain about Saints job. Kellen Moore doesn't like quarterback room, whatever. Rossini starts this report off saying all roads lead to Kellen Moore and that the interview went really well. Okay, so remember that. That is truth one from her.
Yeah, I know.
So they've got to sit here and just wait for this game to end. So
what if Kellen changes his mind, though?
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say. There was a little scuttlebutt. I hate that word.
I actually like that word. Say it again.
You like scuttlebutt? Little chit-chat. About whether or not, if Kellen would want this job. And it's due to the fact that they don't have a quarterback already there in place. That was concerning. But that being said, I do think he's come around on it from what I was hearing.
All right, so now we have the rumor, or the rumors, or however she phrased it, that he's not in love with the quarterback room, okay? Because they don't have a quarterback in place. Then she says, but she's also heard that he's come around on it, and that it's not that big of an issue anymore, or maybe he's been given some credence to fix it or whatever.
Of just, all right, maybe this is the right spot for me. So, look,
well,
I think
that's a very broad statement. What do you mean come around? Like first of all, they have Derek Carr under contract.
They do, but they met. But there's also an understanding throughout the league that the New Orleans Saints need another year to rebuild this thing. They need.
Yeah, for sure. They do. That is, and listen, this is something else. And this, she is mixing sources here and being quite vague. I don't really care. what a bunch of guys sitting at a hotel bar in Mobile are saying. If that's the scuttlebutt, who cares? If it's coming from Kellen Moore or Kellen Moore's team or Kellen Moore's camp, okay, I'll listen. But some random NFL execs or scouts or whoever saying, yeah, I don't know if he loves the Saints quarterback room, or I wouldn't love the Saints quarterback room, or yeah, the Saints are probably a year away from being a year away. Whatever. I say that all the time. I don't love the quarterback room. The Saints are a year away from being a year away. They might be 2 years away from being a year away. So none of that matters. And if what matters to me is that he interviewed it went very well, as she said. Other candidates have withdrawn, and it's his job if he wants it, and he's come around on the quarterback situation. Like, that to me sounds like, okay, this is a bit of a nothing burger. Big headlines. You're going to hear a lot about that. And I think Chase, I'll give him credit, I think he is kind of pushing back on, like, well, what do you mean? Like, that's kind of a big thing to say. It's kind of a broad statement. Like, what do you mean by that? What other candidates? You know, like, I think he's kind of right there.
They're in cap hell. Yep. And they're comfortable understanding that. Like, they know their limitations. They're not expecting Kellen Moore to come in here, let's just say, and get the job and turn this whole thing around, winning. Like, they know it's good. Yeah. They need someone that's going to be patient with them.
Yeah.
And
your thought around the league, was it the worst head coach opening job this year?
No.
Okay. It's just taking the longest to fill.
Raiders was the one that I wasn't getting a lot of.
That's good.
Wow, it's kind of interesting. So that's been a hot topic. Is the Saints considered the worst job? She says no. It's not considered the worst job around the league. Interestingly, she said the Raiders, which I would find hard to believe. I would think it would either be Dallas or Jacksonville. Would be the worst spot for a coach in this coaching carousel for a million different reasons.
Good intel. I like that intel.
Excellence. Yeah, I had a couple coaches rank them all top to bottom for me because I was like, give me if you could have your pick.
What was the consensus one?
Chicago.
New England Patriots wasn't even close.
Really?
What?
Why?
It wasn't even close.
I mean, look, we got Jeremy on the show. I like the New England Patriots.
I had coaches who have jobs telling me, I want the Patriots job. I'm like,
crazy.
You have a job.
That is insane.
Good owner,
Shocking,
a lot of cap space, no weapons on offense, though.
I know. They have so much work to do.
A lot of cap space. I like Drake May. I think Drake May is sweet, but
got a quarterback, though.
That's it, though.
All right.
But what is the lesson before we take a quick break here?
Okay, so there you go. So, I mean, again, I would say that initially this seems bad, but due to the doublespeak and kind of how she walked back a lot of what she said, like I'm kind of okay hearing what she's saying. If he is concerned, first of all, I don't know, and I'm still not sure, if what she's saying is from Kellen, or is it from these coaches and these rumors and whatever that she's hearing? If these people are speaking for Kellen or giving their opinion or whatever, completely different, right? Like, completely different situation. So that's the first thing we got to understand. Even if it is from Kellen, what did she tell us? All roads lead to Kellen Moore. He seems to have come around on it. The interview went great. Those three things alone, I think, are enough to kind of quell some concern. Now, there are concerns, for sure. This is not the best job. No doubt about it. This is a couple-year rebuild. This is all of those things are absolutely true. Quarterback room is a problem, for sure. Quarterback room is a mess as far as how good is Rattler really? You know, what do you think about him? Haener is total ass. Don't even count him. And then Derek Carr, more than likely, will get released. So, yeah, in a game where quarterback is a huge deal, especially for an offensive-minded coach, I could see where it's like, man, I mean, you know, it's not really the best thing. But if he's given that assurance that he can find his way out of it, whether it's finding his guy or drafting his guy or whatever, like, okay. And, you know, I was just having a conversation about this. If Moore decides to go that route in this year's draft or whatever, a trade or however he wants to handle it, I am totally cool with letting him make that decision. I am totally cool. I am not anchored down on Spencer Rattler or Derek Carr or whoever. I'm putting Kellen Moore first. If it takes Jackson Dart at 9 to get Kellen Moore to New Orleans, I will not only buy a Kellen Moore jersey, I will buy a Jackson Dart jersey. Okay? I will pick Jackson Dart up from the airport. All right? I'll pick them both up. I don't care. I'll do anything I have to do. Okay? The main thing I'm worried about in my life right now, more than anything, my biggest concern, more than geopolitical, more than anything at all, there's nothing in the world right now I'm more concerned about than getting Kellen Moore to New Orleans and him being the head coach of this team. Well, I guess he's already in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, but him becoming the coach of the New Orleans Saints, that's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear is Kellen Moore agrees to be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. That's it. Please. Every day when I check Twitter, I'm nervous to see breaking news one way or the other. But as far as this, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think it sounds bad. There's a little bit of context in there. But let me know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next video.